In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create infinite content in literally just a day. You can make hundreds of videos with just a few clicks of a button using AI and Canva. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do this. Now, the types of videos that we're going to be making here aren't going to be groundbreaking, okay? They're simple videos, but the reason why we want to do it is it's going to allow us to remain consistent. It's also going to be really good to nurture our audience, perhaps find new audiences and get out there a little bit more, but mainly we're going to nurture the leads that we do have within our pipeline with this style of content. Now, what I don't recommend is you solely rely on this type of content. I think it's going to be important for you to do talking head videos and things like that alongside this style, but this is going to allow you to keep that consistency high while also keeping the quality of your content quite high. Okay, so here we are in Canva, and as you can see, there are a load of videos. If I scroll across here, there's 50 videos here in total. Okay, so just for the example and for my own business, I have made 50. You can make many, many more than this, but 50 is enough for me right now. So just to give you an idea of the actual type of content that we're going to be making, this is what we are going to be creating. Okay, so hopefully you can see here, very simple. It's a 10-second video. And essentially the premise is, for me, fitness marketing hacks. And I essentially go through what is the hack, why is it important, and how are you going to actually action this hack and make it something that you can use within your business. Now, as you can see, that this, hopefully you can see the template here. And simply all that is changing is the information underneath the what, why, and how. Okay, so it's a 3-step and a 3-stage video. And the way that we do this is through ChatGPT. So here is the prompt that I have used to generate this video. So as you can see here, I want to create 50 different ideas for fitness marketing hacks. This is going to be used as an educational style reel. The structure of the reel will be 1, 2, and 3, and that's the structure that I've just gone over. I've then given it an example, so it has an idea of the kind of thing that I'm looking for. So first, what is the hack? So market your fitness services to a specific customer avatar. 2, why this is important, why you actually want to do this, and then 3, how we actually do it. Okay, so as you can see, this is sort of the reason why we're actually doing it in this way. So I want this to be full of value and the action step must be clear. So topics that you can cover will include Facebook ads, content marketing, email marketing, AI automations, and AI marketing. And then finally, just so you can get it into a format so that you can give it back to Canva so you can actually bulk action this, is you want to present the 3 hacks in a table so that you can copy them over to a Google Sheet. Okay, and then it gives it to you in this table structure. And this is very important because this is the actual structure that we're going to give it back to Canva in so that it can action everything. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this specific to fitness. Okay, so if we get a new chat up, I'm going to make a very similar thing, but imagining that I was in the fitness industry. So essentially the topics stay the same, except the example needs to change. I'm not going to do 50, I'm just going to do 10, just for the sake of the video. And then I'm going to do, instead of fitness marketing hacks, it's going to simply be fitness hacks. And this is going to be an educational style reel. So what is the hack? Why is it important? And how to action it? So an example, oh God, I always do this. Let's stop that and edit. So the example here could be hitting 10,000 steps a day is a great way to lose body fats. You know, not groundbreaking stuff here, but fine. This is because it is low impact on your body and increases your NEAT, non-exercise. Now, I'm not a PT here, but I'm pretty sure that this is how it works. Non-exercise. Oh, God. I don't know what it means. Here you go. Non-exercise thermogenesis. Okay. I knew it was something fancy. So let's just copy and paste that in so it's there. And then number 3, we could do something like walk the dog twice a day and get a walking pad to have at home so you can walk and work. Okay, so something very simple. Again, I'm not a PT, so I'm not trying to pretend that this is groundbreaking stuff. Maybe someone would find this valuable, who knows. But anyway, so we've given it an example so it understands what it is that we're actually looking for. And then we want this can stay exactly the same, but then the topics that they cover will not be the same here. So we can do fat loss, muscle building, and just for the sake of the video, healthy eating, something like that. Okay, so then we also want it to present these in the right format, and then we'll just see what it gives us back. So while this is loading, I just want to go over, if you have a very specific way of doing things, so perhaps you have a very unique protocol when it comes to fat loss or muscle building, which isn't sort of the conventional advice that ChatGPT is going to find through the internet, then you need to make sure that you provide it with all that kind of information. If you just do it in this way, it's going to give very valuable, sure, but also quite generic advice. So you can go as customized and personalized as you want with this, but obviously the prompt is going to be longer and the information that you give is going to take longer for you to either collect or write out. But obviously, you know, if we want to try and provide as much value as possible, that little extra 20 minutes of just writing out how you lose weight, how you build muscle could be really useful. So here we are. It's given it to us in table format, exactly how we asked. So we're going to download the table and it's going to give it to us as a CSV file. Okay. So from here, we just need to open up a Google Sheet so we can just get it formatted nicely. So we are now in our Google Sheet. We simply need to go over to, where is it? Imports. Let it load. We then want to upload. We want to go to browse. And we want to put down our fitness hacks. Okay, import data. It will do all of this automatically. So, and as you can see, we do have the titles up here of hack, why is it important, how to action it. Okay, so whilst you're here, you can either click in here or you can just press Command A and it's going to select everything. We can then copy. And then, well, actually, we don't need to worry too much about that. So now we actually have all the information that we need. This is sort of the hard part. Now we're going to go over to Canva, build out our template so we actually have a place to funnel all of this information into. So let's do that now. So whilst in Canva, we just want to look up Instagram Reel because that's the kind of thing that we're going to be creating. Now, what you could do is use a template, a ready-made one, although I don't recommend this because they're not going to be formatted ideally for the kind of thing that we're looking to do. So I would just say start from blank and you can make it your own completely. So from here, we then want to set our background. So like my example, this was simply a video of me that I took this morning where I was working. Now, what I recommend is if we're trying to give out fitness hacks rather than fitness marketing hacks, this sort of setting works because I'm in the situation that I am usually in. Okay, so obviously when I provide my service, I am sat at this desk in this very scenario. This is what it looks like when I'm providing my service to my clients. But obviously if you're giving away fitness hacks, you really want your video or your background video to be a video of you training or ideally training someone else. Now, of course, you need permission from that other person, but just keep that in mind when you're actually building out your own. So from here, we're going to go over to videos. Just for the sake of this demonstration, I will use the video that I used before. Now, we just want to make it the correct size. Now, what I did in mine, this is completely optional. Pretty much everything from here on out is completely up to you. Okay, this is very customizable, but it's just down to your taste and how you want it to look. So I actually just sort of decreased temperature, increased tint, and basically what I did here is I just brought down everything that is just going to make this image slightly darker. Okay, and the reason why I did that is because I wanted it to be darker so that white text would appear more clearly on top of it. So that's the reason why I did that. Again, you don't have to, but if that's something that you would like to do. It's slowly catching up here. So yeah, as you can see, the colors washed out a little bit, but that's what I wanted, just so things were clearer and easier to see. So from here, we now are happy with our background. We're happy with the way it looks and the color and all that kind of thing. So we're going to right click on this this purple bit here and set that as the background. So that is now the background. We are locked in. So the video here you can see is 10 seconds and 0.2. I'd say 10 seconds is a good amount of time, and I'll tell you why. It just keeps things easier when it comes to the automation. So from here, we're going to want some sort of title so people know what it is that we're talking about. Now, Canva has loads of different options, particularly if you're using the paid version. There's so many here. You can scroll down and you can go quite serious, you can go playful, you can go bright, vibrant, you can go quite minimalistic. There's so many different options. So just pick one that you think is going to work well for you, your branding, and particularly is going to speak to the people that you're trying to speak to. So maybe we could go here. So this one is fine for me. And then we can go this. Okay, so here we are. We've got our thing. If you wanted to, you could decrease line spacing even more just so they're closer together. But anyway, like I say, you can play around with this and this is completely up to you. But as long as something is clear and it's easy to read, then that's the main thing. Okay, get it all nicely center aligned, all that kind of stuff. So like I say, there's 3 parts to this and that's the way that we've got it set out here. We've got the hack, why it's important, and how to actually action it. So there's many different ways that we can do this. So we want to add another text box. Okay, we can keep the same text. We can maybe make it white. We then maybe want to make it a little smaller. We then want to turn off the caps lock and then just drag it down slightly more. So like I say, there's 3 parts to this. So we want to make it clear to each person that's watching our video that there are sections. So there's many ways of doing this: part A, part B, part C, part 1 through to 3. Firstly, secondly, thirdly. There's lots of different ways that we can do this. I can't remember what I actually did. Oh, so I actually labeled it. So how, why, what, how. Sorry, I'm getting this wrong. So I did what, why, and then how. Sorry. So we can follow suit, but again, you could make this part 1. Actually, let's do that. For the sake of the video, let's do part 1. Okay. So get this slap in the middle if you like. For me, that works well in terms of the composition of the text compared to the background of the video. You might want to have it slightly differently. Again, this is all completely up to you. Now, as you can see at the bottom here, this is sort of the timeline of our video. So by dragging things this way, we sort of are telling the software when we want things to come in. So because the video is 10 seconds long, let's give it a second before it actually comes in, so people can read the headline, they understand what it is they're about to get, i.e. a fitness hack, and then text will start coming in. And because we then have 9 seconds left for 3 parts, we will do each part 3 seconds each, and that just keeps everything nice and clean. So from here, we need a space for our text. So this can then just be labeled text 1. And because this is going to have more text, I think we need to decrease the text again. We could also make it not bold. And if you want to make it pop even more, you can go over here to effects, and there's loads of different effects. So you can do lift. This slightly adds a little bit of drop shadow to it, but it's more subtle than simply just a shadow. You could do an outline, which you could make, let's say, yellow. So it, it's the same color as this, and you can increase the thickness, or you could make it black or red, or there's so many different things that you can do. I think for us right now, we can probably just leave it, maybe use lift, okay, because my jumper is black here, so it's going to be easy to read because it's white text on a black background. So yeah, just there's loads of different things that you can do in terms of customization. Keep that in mind. So the main thing is keep it clear. So now we have it set up, we can simply just drag these along. Okay, so this is then going to be part 2, which is going to be the why it's important, and then we're just going to simply copy and paste over this, and this is going to be changed to text 2. I'll just quickly do this now. Once you've done it once, you'll be able to understand why this is important. Okay, so here we go. Everything is all lined up. We can see as it comes through how everything works. So if we play it, we've got fitness hacks, part 1, text 1. Oh, actually, I've just realized that the audio of this track is up. So I'm just going to mute the background because we are going to add music, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. So yeah, so this is what it's going to look like visually. So we have a moment where the headline is up. We have part 1, then part 2, and then part 3. Okay, and 3 seconds seems to be a long enough amount of time. These aren't going to be massive long lines of text. Okay, these are quick sentences, so people don't need that long to actually read it. So yeah, we want to keep videos nice and short. Okay, just for this style of video, that just works out well for us. Also, 10 seconds. People might not be able to read the second bit fast enough, so that's going to then encourage them to be like, oh, actually, I wanted to see what that was. They allow the video to repeat. They watch it again. That's really good for the algorithm. So by making it a little bit short and sort of testing people's reading skills or the speed in which they can read, might encourage them to actually go back, rewatch, and that's going to help us in terms of the algorithm. So yeah, so this is pretty much the main bit done. Okay, the majority of it is done. We have the actual content that we want to put in here. We have the template made. So from here, we simply need to plug and play the actual content. So I'm just going to go back and double check that we actually have this information copied. Go back here, and then what you're going to want to do is scroll down to this bit here called apps. Okay, and just search it up, and it's going to be called, if you type in bulk, you will see bulk create. So we're going to click on that, and then we're going to enter data manually. Start here, simply press Control V. There we go. And as you can see, all of our columns and rows have formatted themselves. So we asked for 10, we have 10 rows, and we have all of our different columns. So that's done. Now all we need to do is just align the column with the particular piece of text. So on text 1, we're going to go up here and do connect data. And that is going to be the hack, because that's what we start with. Then we go over to text 2, connect, why it's important, text 3, connect, how to action it. So there we go. So that's everything. Okay. And that's probably the most technical part of it all. It's not very hard. You know, once you've done it once, you'll be able to do it again. You might want to just go back and rewatch what I've just given you. But yeah, this is going to be everything that you need. And then all we need to do here now is press continue. It's going to show all of our various options, and we just need to click generate 10 designs. That might take a second depending on how fast your laptop is, and then you will be able to view it in your folder. So we'll do that now. Okay, so here we are. So as you can see, everything has been formatted in. So if I play it, we can see part 1, prioritize protein at every meal. Protein builds muscle, keeps you fuller for longer, and helps regulate whatever that said. Aim for 20 to 30. So there we go. So, you know, this is fairly basic stuff. Like I say, the key in terms of getting really, really good stuff is actually having a very good prompt. Okay, so keep that in mind when you are writing out your prompt. If you want it to be very particular about a certain topic, or there's a certain type of knowledge that you want to spread, then just include that in your prompt. So this might be a huge prompt, you know, this might be hundreds of words, but the better your prompt, the better the output. Okay, and that's all it comes down to with AI. Okay, AI is as good as the input that it is given. So make sure that your input is really good, and take your time on that input, because like I say, that's going to be the difference between high quality or low quality results. So yeah, so here we are. So these are our 10 videos. Now, obviously, this could be 100. This could even be 200. What you might want to do is, maybe you don't want this video for every single post that you make. Okay, you might want one of you working with a client, one of you training by yourself, one with you where you're simply just eating a meal. I don't know, you could get very creative with this. So if you wanted to just do 10 like this and then 10 with a different backdrop, you know, this has taken me minutes. And once you understand how it works, then you can just bulk create hundreds of videos that are of high quality. You know, sure, when people look on our page and they see this video and this structure over and over again, they're probably going to understand that this is some sort of automated template. But at the end of the day, this is going to allow you to remain consistent, but you are still posting high quality stuff, which is the beauty of this system. Is it allows you to be consistent and high frequency, but also high quality, which is hard to do. So if you were just doing this original post every single time, then like I say, that's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to stay consistent. You know, when days get busy, weeks get busy, this is the sort of thing that gets pushed on the back burner. So if you have a strategy like this that is going to be able to pick up the weight when you're not able to focus, then that's going to be great. So from here, all we need to do is click share. Just make sure that I'm not in the way. And then we click download. And the other important thing that we need to do is download pages as separate files. Okay, that's very important. So instead of just having one big video with all 10 just mashed into one, we are going to have 10 different videos. Okay, so then we click download and it's going to go. I obviously don't need this. It's not going to have any use for me. This is simply for the video. But just for example, that one that I showed you at the beginning, where I showed you this example here. So as you can see, that is the template, and I have a file of 50 different videos, which I can then go and queue manually, or I could actually get AI to do this. Okay, there's loads of different ways of doing this, or you could just keep them in a folder on your phone and manually do it each day. You can go and schedule them on a scheduler or within whatever app it is that you want to use. Just a quick note, I forgot to say, if you do want to add audio, then all you need to do is go to uploads here, go to audio, and then obviously you're going to need to upload a file. So just find a piece of music that you like. Okay, I just went onto YouTube and I typed in free chilled beats, I think, something like that. This came up. It was just, you know, it said big free, so you know that you're not going to get any sort of copyright issues. And then simply just, I use this all the time. Just type in YT to MP3. This ogmp3.co works really well for me. You simply take the YouTube URL, copy it in. I don't know if this is technically like allowed. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but at the end of the day, you know, as long as you're only using that for non-royalty, non-copyright stuff, then it should be fine. Okay, so just make sure that whatever you're using has free. Don't start using a Drake song or a Taylor Swift song and you're going to get copyright striked. So yeah, so that's how you do it. And then you take your audio, simply drop it in, and there it goes, and then you'll be able to start to play. So that's how you do it. So hopefully that was useful. Now you know how to bulk create loads and loads of Instagram reels, YouTube shorts, whatever you want to use this for. You're going to be able to mass produce content within minutes. Okay, this whole thing took me no time at all. and it's exactly the same. I've only made 50 videos here, but it would take the same amount of time to do 200, 300, 400. You know, the sky's the limit with this. I do want to just make it clear that this isn't going to be the only type of content that you should be posting. Okay, you should also be doing text-based posts if you're on Twitter or LinkedIn, things like that. Obviously, you can't do this for long-form content on YouTube, similar to this video. You need to continue to make your own long-form content, and I would recommend that you also do other short-form, you know, talking head videos or meal plan guides, whatever it is that you do. Make sure that you're doing that alongside this stuff. This is simply supplementary stuff that allows you to remain consistent at a high frequency, but, you know, not have to bend the knee on quality. And this is just simply going to nurture your audience and just keep you top of mind. People are going to continue to see your stuff. They're going to see you providing value. You're going to build trust, and that's going to make it easier for you to convert your customers. That's the whole point of this type of content. So yeah, hopefully you found this useful. If you did, give it a like. And if you want to understand more ways for you to market your fitness business effectively, then click on the video on the screen now.